Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that collaboration over the last, well, it's actually that collaboration is now we're going to our fourth year, but over the last 2 years, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Good morning, Ryan Knight.
Good day, good day. Always good to see you, brother. And for those that don't know who Ryan Knight is, I am one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. We work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage the business is in, help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. I am an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning. And so we go to people's houses, their offices, clean their cars on the spot without water. And you may have seen an announcement this Friday. We are doing our next info session about our summer program. So if you want to learn how to start your own business by starting a mini version of a car cleaning company, Detailing Nights, definitely come on Friday at 2:30. It'll be online. We'll send out the details. And even if you're just interested to see what the process of working with us looks like, definitely check it out. But thank you, brother.
No problem. And let's do it right. We have to say a big thank you. As always, this episode of The Morning Vibe is being sponsored by the Macmillan Group, providing mortgage solutions one client at a time since 1999, buying, refinancing, or investing. Call them in Canada, 905-813-4354, US 904-586-5636. So thank you as always, Macmillan Group. Also, just want to make sure if you didn't read my lips, you can read the screen. I put it that way.
True. Yes.
All right. So both numbers, Canada, US, toll-free, website, email address, because Ray was on last Friday. Last Friday was fire. I mean, thanks everyone who made it out last Friday. Last Friday was outstanding. The engagement, the audience. Ray spoke with me, answers, said, wow, like it just keeps on better and better. And I say, thank you for what we're doing. I say, well, thank you back, but also thank the audience all the way through. So, and actually, as I said, Ray is wealth of knowledge because people, 100%. Before he was in mortgages family, he worked in banks.
Yes.
He worked in the banking sector. So he has a really good panoramic view of business. So hail up to Ray McMillan. What's going on, Ryan Knight? We're doing there's one or two subjects I want to chat about today, but what's been going on in the world of Ryan Knight? Any more office openings or anything like that?
No, but one is in the works, so stay tuned. We're moving a bit further west, but still within Ontario, so I'll let you guess where.
Okay. You're who? ACBN's moving further west?
Yes. Not me. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going. Okay, like. Okay, but good. You're in Brampton right now.
Right, Brampton and Mississauga. So we have offices there.
Milton?
Further.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll give the hint. It's the Steel City.
Hamilton.
Yes.
So you're going to move, you're moving the office to Hamilton?
We are opening another one.
Oh, you're opening another one. Okay, I'm just going, all right, expansion, all right.
So in partnership with ACA. So I don't know if
yes.
Lynn Myrie, we are working on how to have a business hub for Hamilton with
nice
because they just renovated their space on
yes I saw that
new, like a basement office that they're going to use for co-working. So we want to see how we can support the entrepreneurs in Hamilton as well.
Okay.
One thing,
When is that scheduled to happen? When you're looking for that to
April.
happen?
So
yeah, just around the
we
corner,
talked
man.
about the date, but yeah, I'll check to see the exact date.
Okay, cool. You wanted to mention something. What else?
So people may have seen the announcement that we are setting our sights on some of the about to be vacant Nordstrom locations.
Right.
It's been quite interesting hearing some feedback. Most people are definitely positive, saying like, "Hey, congrats! What does it look like? I sell these products. How do I get involved? Great." But some people don't think it can be done, and I'm like, they're trying to say like, "Oh, it's impossible." Like, so I'm very curious to let those people know that it's not me, Ryan, that is taking over a Nordstrom store. It's actually a whole team. So it's not me trying to figure out how to take it over. Understand that there has been a lot of back work. I didn't just wake up one day and figure out how to take over a store. There's been a lot of work being done in the background. So, and for them, hey, I say stay tuned and watch, but it's just interesting people's initial reactions where they don't feel
it's interesting you mentioned that, because I think one of the things that is holding back a number of people who look like us is limiting beliefs. And over the weekend, over the weekend, one of my mentors had a really good live. And okay, before we go always got to acknowledge family. Good morning, Carrie Wilson. Good morning. Good morning, Frequency Event Promotions. Good morning. So Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, projected half $500 billion of revenue this year.
Wow.
Right? But people, we should read more stories of people who have been achieving to that heights, especially backstories, because if people know, maybe they don't know, Jeff Bezos, who founded Amazon, he was working a good job as an engineer making or intelligence guy, some sort of computer guy. He left a job where he's making $300,000 a year.
Wow. Right.
So for most people, if they're making that kind of money, they're good.
Exactly. Yes.
But he had a belief that was bigger than his $300,000 a year job.
Clearly,
right? Right. So Frequency Event, we're chopping it up a little bit, but I'm also we'll see if we get to reparations. I want to talk about that hopefully today, but you bring up this limiting. It's just more and more I get a lot of the times our biggest challenge is ourselves. We it's
absolutely,
this limiting belief thing is just terrible. And when people say, oh, racism, this and that, but sometimes it's your limiting belief.
And one thing that Tim mentions a lot when we get to talk is thinking too small. A lot of times we have these ideas.
Absolutely.
And
Speak of Tim Frey, there he goes. Happy springtime. Yes. Today is the first day of spring. Not outside my window because I still see snow. Good morning, Fitnance IQ Cam. Limitation is true. Oh, and happy anniversary, Fitnance. Oh, because you just celebrated an anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. I saw an Instagram post celebrating. I don't know what is it, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but we say happy anniversary. But yeah, like a little while back, I had the blessing of judging a pitch competition, and one of the fellow judges, a fairly high up guy, he coaches CEOs. Well, actually, the company I'm talking about. We went to one of their events.
Okay, yes.
So one of his coaches, one of that organization's coaches, who mentors and coaches like C-level $500 million companies.
The CEO one. Okay,
yeah. And after everyone pitched, we asked him, what's one suggestion you have for all these entrepreneurs? He said, think big.
Okay.
And there, a lot of them were just in their starting up phases, pitching their business idea. But he said to all of them, think big. You're limiting yourselves.
And I noticed a lot of times entrepreneurs that I talk with don't think big, usually because it's them. They are the whole business. So they really can't see themselves beyond their ability. But when you think of, like, when you start to think big, you realize that you can't do everything by yourself. You need a team, and then you have to be able to build a stellar team, and then that team can really take you to heights unknown. So as you're developing your ideas, always start to think about, if I had the right people in the right places and that whole org chart, imagine the type of effect or the growth that you could have when it's not just all you working in the business.
So Fitness IQ says, I did thank you. It's actually numero 6. It's 6 years. What?
Okay.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. 6-year anniversary of Fitness IQ Cam. Wonderful. We got the DMV in the house. Happy spring. DMV's in the house.
Nice.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's one of the things that is challenging. Like but to me, again, that goes back to my 3: trauma, repetition, symbolism. And for those, just an FYI, if you're following the Dr. Vibe show, especially on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, had a great conversation with Perry Douglas yesterday. Perry was on fire yesterday. When is he? Perry, and got a commitment to him to he wants to come back on a more regular basis.
That's good. That's good.
Well, here we go. Look at this. Good morning. Feels like Springster.
Sprinter.
Well, but okay. So Ryan, this is good for you. And I think there's some other entrepreneurs here. This is a great conversation topic. Teams are so hard to create, especially when you're a new entrepreneur. And I know some entrepreneurs here that I speak with on a regular basis, and I'd love them to have their pitch in saying, is it difficult these days to find good help, good team people?
Right.
Is it difficult? What have you used that has worked? What is not working? And what are you finding when you're approaching people who want to be on teams? It's ironically, in the last week, I've had 2 people who look like us. One, a wonderful lady who lived in Arizona, and another gentleman who's done a lot of great stuff in the not-for-profit space, who's in Philadelphia, who are wanting to she's moved back to Toronto. The other gentleman wants to move into Toronto.
Gotcha.
So it's interesting that people who do not live here, for some reason, I'm hearing more want to come to Toronto. So that's another layer there. But finding good team people. Ryan, what's working? What are you seeing out there? Is it difficult for you to find? Because one of the things that I see out there is you have a team. You don't have too many people leaving your team.
Oh man, if you have a strong team, yes, you do whatever you can to retain them. But the thing, and Roger Dundas will attest to this, in the restaurant business, so many people are looking for like talent. There's so many job openings right now. And I would say across the board, one, because certain jobs, of course, aren't desirable. But when building a team, you mentioned it, that trauma causes that lack of trust. So when you've brought on other people that weren't able to execute what you wanted to get done, a lot of times entrepreneurs then feel like, you know what, I'll just do it myself. Because I tried that. I tried hiring somebody, and now it's hard. They won't say like, oh, it's hard for me to trust people, but that's what they're really saying without saying it. And also, typically we don't have the capital to now hire somebody. So HR and bringing on talent is an interesting balance, because really that person that you're bringing on should at least 2x their output. So if you're paying them, say, 50,000, they should be generating 100,000 plus. Sometimes that takes time. So you're paying somebody and you might not be seeing that result. Something that we have to learn is how to fire quickly, because if you bring on somebody and you're wasting your time training them, getting them up to speed for your company, and then they're not a fit, there's something that also happens where we stick with people too long. So now we have this person, they are actually causing adverse effects in the company. Instead of amplifying, they're actually holding you back. So you're actually going backwards And for some reason, maybe they're a friend. A lot of times, that's us entrepreneurs. We start out with our friends, and like, hey, I'm starting a business. Can you come help me? So you don't want to ruin your friendship by firing this person. But if you don't fire them, the company won't grow. When you do finally get rid of them, I've seen that now they're like against hiring because it was such a terrible experience having to fire somebody. And my team will tell you, I hate to fire people. I'm the 2, 3, 4, 10 chance guy, but we have to. And sometimes it takes getting help with it and saying, you know what, you as an entrepreneur, the visionary, you might be more emotional like myself. You're not the best person to be the HR because you have to do due diligence when you're hiring, that whole process. And when they're not a fit, you have to be able to get rid of them. Stop trying to wear all the hats because that's probably not your expertise.
Okay. So, Ryan, your microphone is going in and out. Like we can hear you, but sometimes you're louder, sometimes you're quieter. So I don't know if anything's going on. We can hear you okay.
Yeah.
So just catching up on comments from the family, and I love people to chime in here because I know a lot of, if not a lot of the people, most of the people that are watching this live are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs with a small team outside of Tim, who probably has millions of people because he's got millions of different things going on. But yes. Divine Right says it's spring, but it feels like winter. Frequency says congrats, Fitnance IQ. Yes. Shiel Fitnance says yes. Doing it alone is so stressful. Yep. Let's see. You want to watch the replay of Black Canada talking yesterday? Please watch. It was very good. Perry was. I know Ryan chimed in for a little bit. Perry was on fire, and so happy for him writing his own book. Tim Frey says ACMB Marketplace 1, congratulations. Hope to see plans for number 2, 3, and 4 across different provinces in the plans. Fitness says it depends on the industry on getting good people. I'm hearing
we always need new people.
Yes.
What Chris Rock say? You can move a couch with 2 people easier than with one person. You cannot move it at all. So you should always at least have a team of 2.
Yes, it's challenging to find help in the entrepreneurship kitchen because everyone wants to be the chef. Interesting comment.
That is
interesting. Carrie says, great tip. Don't know which one, but and Ray is in. Good morning. Everyone's entrepreneurial journey is very different. Partnering with thinking focus, one of the most challenging things. What I do is personal to me. It is my vision. There you go. But Ryan hit it right on the nail. What did he hit right on the nail? Gotta give us more because we don't do it. I can't put everything in real time because that'd be scrolling and we never chat. Right? Ray says, I've had a partner which were large based on local context, but as we grew, each had different destinations. As we dissolved, it was a very successful and sizable operation. You know, those things happen, right?
And those things happen. That Ray also did was be able to bring his son into the company. And he'll tell you, and I'll wait when he comes on to tell the story, he's now able to operate the business in a way that allows him more flexibility because he has such a great team member now. It's not even an employee. Like
in blood.
Right. But I mean, like, he's running the show. So because you have such a great team member, you can now focus on strategy. You can focus on expansion. When you're answering the phone and also on another call with the bank and trying to do everything yourself, it's so difficult to grow, or at least start to think about growing.
Well, as entrepreneurs ask me suggestions, because I never give advice, I give suggestions.
Right.
2 different things for me. But I say, look, once you make your first money, start thinking about getting someone on.
Right.
Because the thing is, you want to work, the old phrase, you want to work on your business, not in your business. Right. So you want to find good people and also too, the type of questions you ask people during I tell people I don't do interviews, I do conversations. They go, so when I bring people on board, I have certain questions. Like one of the questions I ask them is, who's the smartest person you know and why?
Oh, okay.
Different question, just to see what qualities do they admire in that person.
Right. Good.
I'm not going to give all my game away, but that's one of my questions that I use in regards to that. I just want to find out what qualities do they admire in someone that they respect, you
Right.
know? So Carrie says, what's your first money? You mean, no, I mean your first money, period. I want you to think ahead. Again, we got to think big, right? Because I'm speaking, you're going to get to those bigger monies and incomes. You don't want to have to start thinking about who you need when you get there. You want to be thinking along the way before you get there, because you know your business,
Yes.
right? You know where you need. You want to get your time back. As I say,
And
so many
yeah, that's where,
entrepreneurs
yeah,
when they're starting, I say, do you want more money or do you want your time back? More are saying they want their time back. So Finance IQ Camp says she's overwhelmed. She mentioned, like overwhelmed with bookkeeping. She'd like to get someone to do that well. I'm actually helping a company right now where they had me come in and do an offsite and just delve into the company itself. And the owner was going, this is so good. Like, I know where I need to focus on with my company and my employees so I can get my time out so she can go get more business.
right. Yes, yes.
Okay. So, the comments are flying in, and this is funny. We weren't even going to chat about this morning, but we're already on a good fire conversation. Meaning, if I can paraphrase what Ryan was saying, before a team is to grow, things need to be fit. Because if it is not fit, you must adjust. Is that what you're saying, Ryan?
So I was saying, one, have the objective to build a team. Never feel like you can continue to run your business all by yourself. And like what Dr. Vibe was saying, at least bringing on that first person. Once you start making some sales and you have a little bit of money, always be thinking about, okay, how can I bring on that next person? But one thing that is even beyond paying and bringing on team members, try to have a co-founder. Like, I know people are wary of partnerships, and I'm not saying you have to have like a full partnership entity, but you need to sell your vision to at least one other person. And one thing that I've found is that person also could be part-time. Having a virtual assistant or somebody that works alongside you, that you can now start to build the muscle of showing somebody else tasks and delegating it to them to make sure that they get it done. So that team, again, can start small, but at least one other person, and then you can start to grow.
I think that's a great idea. I think another thing, as your business grows, if you can get a board of advisors,
Yes.
right, or even one or two people that you can just present things to and get their fee. I have that, not officially, but I have a number of people in my constellation, because I don't use that C word that Lion likes, that I can get their feedback, their valued feedback on, because they're further ahead than I am. Right.
Yes.
And that's another thing too. If you want to build a team, get your ego out of the way.
And I'm sure you've experienced this, where you're talking with an entrepreneur and they feel so much relief just being able to talk to somebody else. And then that person gives them, like, kind of puts a couple pieces together and gives them some guidance. And then it just unlocks. And then they're like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And then now they know which direction to go. They're not stuck, and they can just keep going.
Like, and these are people that will help you get clarity.
Right.
And that's and also, they don't necessarily are going to agree with you. You got to be ready. That's the big point, right?
Yes.
That you got to get people that are going to be honest with you, and you don't want the yes people. You want the people who are going to give you the real deal, the real facts. Like, I won't say, but two of them that I always are go-to people for me are in this conversation right now. I ain't going to tell you who they is.
Okay, yes.
Two of them are in my in right now. So let's catch up, because the comments, and again, thank you, family. And it seems that we have a really good subject here in regards to conversation about this, and this reminds us, we need to get George Fraser back, because it would be really good, because he talked a little bit about this when he was on last time, about your partner and then your business partners. I think he could give a really good masterclass in regards to this. But let's, from Ottawa, Sophia Jacob, long time. How are you? Black business struggle with this, as capital funds you need to pay folks isn't available at times. I agree with that, but I'm going to say something. And if Sophia, you can reach out to me. Do you know how many interns I have?
Okay. Right.
I'm just gonna, like, when I started my journey that started to accelerate, I said, look, I cannot spend all my time audio video editing. And if
Right.
anyone's ever done that, it takes up a lot of time. And I want to get my time back so I can accelerate the business that I'm doing and the things that I'm doing. Right. So, Sophia, if you want, you can certainly reach out to me, because right now I have good relationships with 3 post-secondary institutions and 1 or 2 government, well, organizations get paid by the government to get you resources.
Gotcha.
Now, it may not be the be all and end all, but I have good relations with all these organizations. And let me tell you, right now, 8 months out of the year, I don't do any audio video editing. Do you know how much time back I get?
Right.
Do you know? And I'm going, and actually, by the end of this year, it's going to be the full year, because I figured out something now to shortcut where I don't have to do any audio video editing. It allows me to do things like this, like the morning vibe, and just focus on that. And actually, we may be getting someone to help us with the morning vibe. That's another conversation for a few months. We just leave it at that. So Sophia says you don't find government grant often, but it's what else? ACBN to invest in our own business. Yeah, same stories we talk about over and over. You don't need money to get good help. You can get project help. You can get project help, right? And then when you have that experience saying, wow, this is why I need help, you see the benefits of, even if it's a project, for a project, you say, wow, I don't have to do this. And I have time to do this, or I have time to hang out with myself, or I have time to hang out with family and friends. You see that. So totally agree. I'm looking for someone to help with marketing, keep my website updated, assist with content, troubleshoot issues, help me grow So Divine Right, you know how to contact me. I may have some suggestions for you, because I know there's a program in Canada that has a sort of a sister program in the US that you may be able to get student help. And a lot of times we don't need long-term help, but we just have a project that we need to get done.
Gotcha.
So Divine Right, you're talking about marketing. You would love to get maybe some marketing students to just devise a marketing plan for you. You're good. You don't need them forever and ever.
Right. And now that's done. And you can
it's done. You know what, you get clarity to find out what your next step is. In regards to website, for the longest period of time, I was looking to get a student to help me for my website. I got one a few months ago. He's fantastic. So I'm hoping, and the thing is, I've actually sort of helped out another opportunity that I'm involved. He's helping that organization out.
Boom.
And he's getting paid by the government of Canada to do it. Okay. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying I'm the be all, because hey, I'm not perfect, but okay. But Ryan is, we go, Carrie's going, Ryan, you're in my head. Virtual assistant is what I'm looking into. Good.
Yes.
Divine Right. It gets very tiring. The daily stuff. Yes, it does. It's very tiring. Yes. All right. The hashtag of the day, constellation. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Catching up here. True to Ryan, I managed to have all the 3 kids buy in. Very nice. Should be BUI, but we don't mind that. Every major corporation policy started as a family business. Building with family is what most should consider. Look, most people on this call don't like the former president of the United States, but you notice who are the frontline people in all his businesses? His kids.
Yes.
And I'll say it over and over again. The greatest area for Black wealth is the Black family. Enough said.
Absolutely.
Dr. Vibe, after our conversation on Thursday, I was planning to chat with you about putting together an advisory panel yes, I think that's Ray. I fully agree with you. I think that would be an outstanding idea. So Ray, make sure, let's put it this way. I don't want my eyes to rest from tonight's sleep before we talk about that. I want that to happen. I want that. Wow, finding a co-founder is such a great idea. Just the idea of being able to sell someone else on your blank. I don't know, maybe idea. Mission. Yeah, I don't know what there's a lot of letters could go in those 4 words. So I'm going to put idea. Thanks, Ray. Yes. Also, I need to look into getting interns or college students to work study. Yes.
Absolutely. It's win-win. They're looking for the experience.
Look, when I mentioned that to many entrepreneurs ago, what are you talking about? It's like totally unused resource. Like, I'm going to be
Yes.
honest with your family. Last summer, I had 6 interns
Boom. Look at
working
that.
with me. 6. Right now, I'm turning interns away for
Whoa.
I'm gonna be open here. I don't like the word transparent. I'm tired of that. Tired of that word. I'm gonna just be open. Let's keep it simple. There's a 4-letter word for you, Hayden. Open, right? That I have a number of students who are in communications wanting to do a summer internship with me to be a social media coordinator.
Okay. And I've seen, even because you had the editor making those clips, now the social media is getting more traction and content.
That's right. So
Everything starts to grow.
I have someone doing the social media editing of clips for social media platforms. I'll hand it over to a social media coordinator who will do the post.
Yes.
And all I have to do is just schedule it.
Love it.
And if it really gets good, I'll just say, okay, you handle the scheduling. If they can prove their chops, and even if that's for a few months, I get time back for a few months so I can generate more revenue, so I can hire someone to do that. Actually, one of the students I had with me last summer is working on the Dad Central show. He does all the audio video editing.
Okay.
And when we presented that opportunity to him, he says, "Hey, that's so much better than working at Canadian Tire part-time or Toys R Us, because it's a win for everybody." It's great for his resume. He's working with a major brand,
and it's in where he wants to. Like,
it's great for his resume, credibility, and all that stuff. He's getting paid. We get it taken off our hands. So that's why you have to sell it to them, and you don't really have to sell it to them. They love the opportunity. Let's see. Okay, we already got Divine needing to look into this. Let's go further. Yes, intern support would be beneficial. Yes. Also, in regards to marketing, I need a plan and assistance executing. I can't do all these. True, but let's start for the first win. Let's see if there is help available in your area. Let's think one step. Let's see that, because there's another business owner I'm helping. She actually has a team from Rotman School of Management.
Right.
Students who are doing that have devised a marketing plan for her, devised a survey for her to send out to her community. They did all of that. She didn't have the time. She can't make the time. She doesn't make the time, but she's got someone helping with her who has more experience in that area. Hashtag advisory community. There you go. Earl Anderson, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Earl. And Divine says, oh my God, that's what I need to do, a social media coordinator to help me build traffic. I have 2 Facebook business pages, my IG, etc. That would be a game changer. Yeah. Like I'll even, I'm not flexing or anything. I'm just telling you things that happen. I'm not a TikTok guy.
Yes.
Right. And, but last summer, guy applied for social media coordinator for the summer. And I said, look, I have no idea what's going on with TikTok. He goes, don't worry. So he created my TikTok page. He handled all the posting, everything on it. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't posted on it regularly since, but I saw the results. I said,
gotcha.
And he just said, and I just told him, play. Right? So Ray says many young entrepreneurs focus solely on finding money and funding to grow. What may be important is finding an intellectual skill set that complements that. I agree 100% with that.
To fill the gap. Right.
Right? This is just my thought, especially if you're just starting out. The money you make should be going back into the business, whether it's hiring resources, all those things. Great idea. Great thought again, Ray. Divine Ray, I'll be contacting you. Looking forward to it. Ray again says, give up percentage of something to that individual. Yeah, 100% of nothing is nothing. Well, 50% of something is something. Partner to scale and grow. As we approach, we need to consider more. Yeah, absolutely.
You see,
you need someone to complete you, complete. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because
And a lot of times these students, they have more knowledge than me. They're going,
but
oh,
that's
I
the
use
thing.
Pro
They
Tools.
have that
And I
expertise.
go, look, I know you can do what you can do. You don't have to
Yes,
tell me what you're
yes.
using. I just want to see, I want to make sure that you can do the results, do the work, and you're enjoying what you're doing.
Gotcha.
A lot of times they go, oh, why do you say that? Well, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to show. You're going to take
Yeah,
longer to
because it's
what you
gonna
do.
be a drag. Yeah.
It's not going to be good. Carrie Wilson, I'm going to link you for those student supports. Please do. Please do. But yeah, I think it's a really important thing, building teams, because it looks I'd say at least I'm gonna say that at least 2/3 of the people that are on live right now are entrepreneurs.
Right. Yes.
You know, and some are farther along in their journey, like a Ray McMillan Group.
Hmm.
He's farther along in the journey. So there's a lot of times I go to him, but I can't say that having that advisory panel, or I know mentor's another word I'm going, I like advisor better, but that have
I
been
like the
further along.
advisory. Yeah.
Mentor advice, I think, is crucial and critical.
Right.
Crucial and critical. Doesn't matter, and I no matter where you are in your game.
Absolutely.
No matter where you are in the game.
Yeah, there's always advice, and again, there's always things that you won't be able to see because you're in the forest. There's people that are at that 30,000 foot level that can just see what's coming, like how to connect the dots for you. It takes that, like you said, clarity, like a person that can give you clarity to say, like, hey, the path is here. You might not be able to see it because you're just all seeing the trees, but having that clarity is so good.
That's important. And I say to people, when you have good direction, people directing you, you only see the forest. They see the trees.
Absolutely.
They see the trees. So this is good. So I'm hoping, if some people want to contact me, I can certainly chat offline and share some of the resources I've used. I'm not too familiar. I know maybe one or two places in the States, but if you're Canadian based, there's a lot of different opportunity. And I've even shared some of my resources with people for short-term projects. Like there's a team member of mine who she's doing audio video, and she's now helping out a gentleman of mine who has a show on PBS.
I wondered, did you share some of those resources during your podcast webinars with
Innovation Guelph?
Yeah.
No one asked me, believe it or not. But let's just say with the Innovation Guelph, we not done yet.
Nice. Well, I was thinking, because if you actually record yourself sharing some of those tips, you should put that on your website and be like, listen, go watch this.
Well, okay, so just again, I'm not flexing, but if anyone missed the 3 webinars I did with Innovation Guelph, it's on their YouTube channel.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
It's on their YouTube channel, so it's right then and there. So yeah, I am all about helping people get a win. Doesn't matter how big or small, or even resource wise. I actually just want to ask people in the audience, how many people tried ChatGPT yet?
Okay, and look at that. That could be that first hire. Like that AI assistant can start to take some of those.
There you go. There you go.
Tim Frey was saying that at the symposium.
Good idea. That could be your first hire. And you don't have to pay anything.
Yes. And they're again quite efficient. So good.
Yeah. Again, everyone who owns their own business, or even if you have, like, look, if Amazon, if Google, if anyone uses the DuckDuckGo search engine, they now even have their own ChatGPT format on that. So please take a look on how ChatGPT can help you scale up.
Microsoft is leaning into this. If you haven't tried their Microsoft Edge, I think it's developed.
Yeah, Edge, that's a browser. Yeah, it's all based on
and also Excel. I don't know people. I love Excel, the spreadsheets. They've incorporated.
I'm challenged with Excel. I am challenged to be really good at it. Christopher Lawrence says I'm not really sold on AI yet. I feel it takes away from creativity, in my own opinion. Good point. This is what I say about ChatGPT. To me, it's a starting point. I don't rely. It's not everything to me. For me, because sometimes I get challenged generating an idea. That's when I'll use, things like Chat GPT. And again, there's so many different areas. Like now, audio video editing can be done by AI.
Yes, we're seeing it.
Right. So
summarize.
So the thing is, family, you got to know how AI is going to impact your business, because it already is, and it's going to do it more.
True.
And you'll get those people say, "Oh, I don't need you. I just go to ChatGPT." Okay, then the real question is, okay, are you going to do a chat? Who's going to do it for you? Who's going? You get all this information. What are you going to do with it?
Right. Absolutely.
And then I tried another AI. It was so helpful, but it was free for a little, and going to try Chat 1 too. Yeah, because family, eventually they're going to, if they're free now, they ain't going to be free probably forever.
True. Even ChatGPT has their plus version, which allowed you to get access to ChatGPT 4. And the story that came out is that that's what Bing, the search engine for Microsoft, had already been using ChatGPT 4. So they're really trying to take a run at Google for some market share.
Yeah. Sure night. Good morning. I tried ChatGPT over the weekend. How was it? How was your experience?
How did it help?
Yeah. So,
yes.
And actually, I have to do a sharing session with a group of video and audio students at the beginning of this month. And one of the first questions I'm going to ask them is, have you tried ChatGPT? And I'll be very interested to see how many of them have. I'm very interested, because if they haven't, they're in trouble. They got to catch up. They got to catch up.
Yes.
But yes, so finding good team members, always a constant challenge. So much so people are asking me, can you find me a good team member?
Yo, so true. But earlier we were talking about thinking big, and I know there's been a lot of pushback with the reparations thing, and it sparked my mind because there's people that heard $250,000 that California was going to give, and they're like, "Oh, that's not enough."
No, it's $5 million.
Now San Francisco is saying $5 million, and people are saying like, "Oh, that seems like too much." So it's always that, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's gonna be no perfect number. But what's also interesting is, I don't know if you heard Dr. Umar Johnson talk about, this generation shouldn't be the generation to get reparations because we would waste it.
So here's a good point. Okay, so we're going to get into this for a few minutes. So we're going to show the story. For those who aren't aware, San Francisco leaders show early support for $5 million reparation payments for eligible Black residents. $5 million.
And there's like 50,000 residents unofficially. So I'm not sure if I did the calculation right. It was like 1.5 trillion it would cost.
They won't. I don't think they're going to do it all in one time. They'll probably do it, like one report says they're going to do over a number of years. But that's now. But what's really caused even a bigger fracas is this, and this is now where I really want our family to chime in. So, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Let me just pull this up. So, while this is being discussed, the NAACP of San Francisco chimes in.
Okay.
And they are against the $5 million reparation payment to Blacks.
Wow. What did they say?
Okay.
They reject the what?
Yes. Reverend Amos Brown said today the Board of Supervisors, which is holding a hearing today at 3 p.m. on the city's reparations plan and Dream Divination, should redirect its focus on the 5 key elements on part of reparations: education, jobs, housing, healthcare, and a cultural center for Blacks in San Francisco. So the NAACP is saying the money should go to an organization, probably theirs, to invest in education, economic empowerment, housing, healthcare, and a cultural center. So here comes the real question, family. Do you, if you received reparations, would you want it to go to an organization to manage it, or would you like it directly?
Wow. So I'll let that sit for a minute because for people to weigh in. But the question that they're rejecting, one thing that I agree with is that it's not only about the money. We should be looking at what does it actually take to repair, because that's what reparations is supposed to do, to repair the damage that was done. Money would be one segment of it. Where I don't agree is sometimes you make statements that might derail things. So if the NAACP is against this reparations that are going to come out, now that might give fuel to people that are already against Black people getting reparations, and then that's going to derail everything. What they've put in, what I just saw kind of quickly, if 50,000 Black people got $5 million each, and I did the count, so that's $250 billion. Are we saying that we're not capable of creating a community center? would we not be able to come together and start businesses that would hire ourselves? Like, how I feel like they're shortchanging the ability of Black. Is Dr. Umar right? This is the worst generation to give money to because we're gonna waste it. We wouldn't even be capable of starting our own community center. That's where a lot of these conversations should be in house. Like, you can't send out these types of. Who are they talking to? Like, is there any group who's leading this conversation about reparations? Is it just the government leading the conversation, or is it an organization of Black people and Black organizations that have put forward this proposal? Because maybe they're going up against some other organizations. Somebody must have come up with a plan. Like, where did this 5 million even come from?
So the family is coming in strong now. So we'll just get back. Sharon Knight said she tried her chat GPT and she said it generated enough resources for my newsletter in less than 60 seconds that I've been procrastinating on forever. I want to see the newsletter. By the way, I want to see that newsletter. And then Carrie Wilson says, which generation you get it? And who should say is too much is it's never too much. Carrie says directly and let the people invest where they choose. Fitnance goes, send me the money there. Carrie says, yes, the money should go to the public as well as individuals. So you're saying a mix, Carrie? Okay. Sophia says it all depends. I think they may be concerned is that folks won't spend it on the right things. The money could slip through your fingers quick and would it be a waste? So then I'm gonna hold on that. I'm gonna come back to that, and it's very interesting. The story that the entity is against the 5 million is false and misleading. They do want it and more. Well, there's the tweet from Amos Wilson. So please educate us more on what he tweeted. Okay, would you invest in land? Would you invest in stocks and bonds? How much would you be taxed on your reparations? Ray McMillan, give me my money. Give me my money. I have the ability to multiply mine. Upon multiplying, I can better serve my family, the C word, and others. I mean, I think giving it out in increments, not a lot. Some, I think that's if it comes to fruition, that's the way it's going to happen. Some folks can't handle a large sum that they aren't accustomed to. That's a good point. If they're not handling it well when they have little, are they going to handle it well when they have a lot?
Why doesn't the NAACP put together those programs, work alongside the government to say,
parking lot that I want to have that parking lot. An ND leader was on Roland Martin to correct the misinformation. Okay, well,
what did they say?
What did they say different than what they've put down there? Yeah. That's what I need to know. And Hayden, that's what I want to know. Yes, I agree. Yes, a mix, and I agree with Ryan. Who's having these conversations? Agreed, Ryan. This is indeed a family conversation. These public sound bites do us more damage than good.
Right.
Cher says, first, dollar amount will never be announced. Second, I think someone should be placed in a type of trust that can be invested and some can be dispersed to the community. It says to community. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's put it out there. Do we, again, getting back to my T word, trauma, do most melanated people trust organizations enough, like the NAACP, to handle things judiciously with money. Point in cake. All the money that was given to organizations because of Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
How much has your life improved? Have you seen? Has any of that money come into many people's hands?
And they got what, like 90 million?
Well, I'm just using that organization, but
But it's a good example.
Yeah, right.
How did that affect your life?
Does everyone here live, and also comments on the replay, I will monitor. Do you have trust enough in any Black organization if they got money to help the Black constellation? There's my real question.
And this is where,
because a lot of people in the US who I speak to, they have no trust and no affinity for the NAACP.
And so the NAACP has members. So let's say there's 10 members. I'm hoping that there's more. Those 10 members would be getting $5 million each. So there's $50 million. Why don't they come out with what's their strategy to use their collective money to better improve the Black community? Instead of blocking everybody from getting money and saying it only should come to them, or that they feel like there should be other things. It's like, no, you're going to get a bag of money. Show us what you're going to do to amplify the Black community. That way you're not derailing everybody from getting paid, and you're going to have a strategy that other people can get on board with. Because if you put out your strategy, I would assume that a lot of people would resonate with that strategy and be willing to put into it, unless they feel like the Black community is completely disjointed. As one of the comments was, it's just going to be a complete waste of money. And Dave Chappelle will be right. And I don't know if you saw in the Chappelle show, they went through this scenario of Black people getting reparations, and Cadillac became $1 trillion company. And one person, so it's like, is all the money just going to flow out of our hands right back into all the waste stuff that we purchase? So that's why it has to, the double-edged NAACP really show leadership here and say, you know what, we want to be involved in the conversation. We have a membership of X amount. We have decided that we're going to pool our money, and as one of the comments mentioned, buy a parcel of land. On that land, we're going to build our own city, and like, show us, don't block things. And so I'm hoping Hayton is saying they didn't say to block it and reject it, but I'm curious what the correction is.
Okay, let's keep up with comments. Sophia goes, some people unruly them that nobody feel them hand the money, just want it all. Sigh. Tim's Ray says, how were previous reparations paid to other populations that got them, and what makes our population different? Good question. I'll do some research on that.
Absolutely.
No, we do not trust institutions.
Hey, we're seeing.
Okay. Shelly says, yeah, no confidence.
Right.
And Divine Right, who is probably the only person live in this conversation that actually lives in the United States. So let's see, who would want the money directly? I think those who need it to sit down with a professional to make a plan so that you know what they're doing with the money. Okay, yeah, sort of like present a business plan to get it. Yeah, right. That's good. Sophia says, remember, money only stays within the ACB unit for 6 hours. Yeah.
So what if we created a strategy to fix that? So if that's true, what do we do to now make that time?
Another job for Ryan Knight.
What is this? What?
Great point, Ryan. Well thought out. Perhaps you should be the chair of the reparations committee. Man, you're like the Wayans women in Living Color. 6 job, man.
What? 10 jobs.
10 job. So here it goes. Man. Most Black organizations U.S. depend on funding from others that usually comes with hidden strings. Don't think that's only in the U.S. Thank you very much.
And okay, that's why I love the question: how were previous reparations paid out? Because what is a strategy that worked? Maybe one strategy didn't work and another strategy did. We should model something that did work.
So Divine Right, I know I'd love to invest and grow the money, put money away for my son, and donate some to an organization of my choice.
Hey, and this is where the NAACP can show they are of trust. They're trustworthy. They can be an organization of choice. Be the leaders in this space. Like, this is perfect positioning.
There we go again. By the way, I would trust ACBN to distribute the money. Well, you know what? Yeah, actually, interesting in a little way. This is sort of a little bit like the situation with this organization that's been given $200 million trust in Black Canada.
Gotcha. Same questions are coming up.
You know,
the trust factor.
I'm telling you, six jobs, Ryan. There we go. But
yeah, see, I would bring my team to definitely be part of this conversation, because the study groups that we do, the ecosystem that we're starting to build, yeah, we should definitely have. No, I mean, but it's only in one city, so what's the broader conversation?
Well, who knows? Well, but you know, again, you know, there are lots of people in America ain't gonna buy this at all, and you know, with an upcoming election, this is gonna be front and center.
Absolutely,
right? For the Jewish people, how did they get it? Well, I would say they already had an infrastructure. They own things. So they can speak from a higher point in the mountain than us, because they own.
And I'm pretty sure it's perpetual. If I'm some of the companies that were involved, like, yearly have to contribute to reparations. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was just a one-time payout from certain entities. It was like an ongoing, perpetual payments that they were getting or are getting.
So, family, live or on replay, if look, here we go. The hammer, one of the hammers is here. Perry Douglas, this is a fantasy and a distraction. We are talking about money we don't have. As my dear mom used to say, don't count your chickens until you have. I don't know if this is ever going to happen. I'm not optimistic. This is a nice talking point, but right. Perry Douglas, you see, heavy. This is. I think we need to do, Ryan. We should have a full 1 hour and have a group of people on talking about this.
I would love that conversation. Even I would love to just listen in.
I would just
smarter people than me.
Yes, bring them on and let them talk about, because notice no one's talking about this in Canada at all.
And is there even a committee looking at this in Canada to say, what does reparations look like here? I know it's been floated, like the word, but are people actually actively working towards it? I'm not sure.
Is the $5 million taxable or non-tax? Not sure.
That's on that.
We get Shelley Jarrett,
big time.
Shelley, you're reading my alleged mind. It's not just money check out the 10-point action plan through CARICOM in Antigua. CARICOM came up in yesterday's conversation with Perry. So Perry, you demand for us
the trust level
right now. So Perry, and again, watch yesterday's conversation, because he talks a lot about the Caribbean or Caribbean, whatever way you want to pronounce it, and he talks about CARICOM in that conversation.
But I wonder if they're including Dr. Claude Anderson in these conversations, because
Ryan, why would they do that?
If they want good guidance, he's been talking about this conversation.
Okay, so hold on a second. Here's even funnier. Dr. Claude Anderson, for those who know him, has never been invited to speak to any HBCU in America. What does that tell you?
Wow. Are they not interested? That is wild.
You know why? Because they don't want to rock the boat to all their funders. Their funders ain't gonna they ain't gonna want someone like Claude Anderson
bring some heat.
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
Right? Divine Right says, I remember that Chappelle show.
People have to go watch that clip, man. That says it all.
Shelley says exactly, no talk about reparation here.
Right.
Hayden says, everyone else received their reparations except us. Please understand what that means. Yeah. Everyone else has got theirs. Everybody else has got theirs. In Black Canada, we're not even talking about this in Black Canada. We're not even talking about this. We're not.
But then, does this become the blueprint? Because that's why I feel we have to pay attention. Because if this does roll out, how does this now get used as a blueprint? One, to roll out across the U.S., and then two, up into Canada. Because if it's a good blueprint, we have to be paying attention. And even if it's a bad blueprint, again, we have to be paying attention to adjust it so that it actually positively impacts the Black community for the long term.
Okay, Sophia brings up a good point. It's not being talked about in Canada. We do have to take into consideration the Indigenous community here in Canada. What would they not make a request and be first? Land back, hashtag land back is something they've been fighting for, hashtag First Nation. But hold on, did not Chinese Canadians or Oriental Canadians get some sort of reparation a while back, or even an apology?
Wasn't that the Japanese in the U.S.?
Japanese, no, but there's some. In Canada. I'm not right here. There may be some in Canada, but this brings up a whole other conversation about the term BIPOC. That's another conversation we won't even get into here right now. That Perry's bringing the heat. Read Sir Hilary Beckles on reparations. All of this has been tried before. We must read history first, or we'll just continue down the rabbit hole to the abyss.
Gotcha.
Divine Right says, "Oh nope. Since I'm in the U.S., I don't want any institution handling or taking my money." As the famous quote said out there, quote, "Tell them to bring me my money."
Show me the money.
So that we're just having a sample size of one, but Divine Right in the U.S., she don't want no Black organization handling her money. Hey, right now in the U.S., do you want your bank handling your money?
Wow, that listen, that is a conversation part 2, because that is having a serious domino effect with other banks, smaller banks, people pulling their money because the confidence levels low.
There's a list of reparations that I can show you all. Send it to us. Okay. Carrie says First Nations are getting their reparations. Some people would say that in this country.
Gotcha.
You know, Hayden says, I don't believe that there's any real intentions for African descended people. I think we have to take ourselves more seriously.
100%. Yes.
You know, there are different cultures out there that have probably the same or less percentage of the population of this country. They're taken seriously.
That is key right there.
And one of the reasons why, because they own things.
Yes, right? Businesses and land.
They own land, exactly. Ray says here, agreed, we shouldn't count our chickens. This isn't a distraction for Black Americans. It is a very real issue. Our trip to the U.S. South will show you the urgency of this conversation. Agreed?
Gotcha.
Geez. Nadine, you got a link that I could put up, but I wouldn't be able to copy. So, Natalie, sorry. So I'm going to ask you to email it to me. So, because this will be an ongoing conversation with us all. But yeah, I think that, yes, for Black Americans, this is a very big conversation. But again, I ain't counting no chickens. It's good talk. Right. True. But again, look, I come back. Are there any organizations out there that you would trust with your money? Anything now these days, because Black Americans, what's going on with their banks? Like Credit Suisse just got bought by
USB or
UBS, I think. Perry told me that yesterday. Perry used to work. Perry, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, one of those organizations. I'm going, and Credit Suisse was in. They said they had to save Credit Suisse.
Wow.
Because they were in so much bad, but there again, now it just becomes a smaller world in that marketplace.
Yes,
concentrated, right? Ray goes, our challenge is, quote, real leadership, unquote. Yeah, leadership in the melanated community has to be democratized so we can get the results fast. So everything starts with a conversation. Perhaps, quote, the leaders, unquote, are focused on getting the results, quote, unquote. Many people told me the leaders are only concerned about themselves.
Well, that's why we go backwards. Like if we can't trust who's leading us, we have big problems.
Okay, Natalie says the answer to your question regarding the Chinese is an official apology. Okay. And yeah, Shelly's answering, do you trust any organization with your money? And she says, no, unfortunately. Sophia goes, none at all. Me so sorry. Me love, but me need me money, bro. There you go. Right. So for the few people who have answered, they'd rather take the money directly,
right,
than have an organization handle it for them. Wow.
I don't blame them, because if you go by past experience, this is what we have to work with. If they showed better track record, people would have different opinions than those that came through on the comments. So it's for them to show us that they're credible and worthy.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times these organizations are their tail is being wagged by a dog. Their tail is being wagged by someone, and they'll say whatever that organization is or party.
And my apologies, my computer is about to die.
Okay, well, we're gonna shut it down. We don't want you to die. Yeah. So, what's coming up? What's coming for the upcoming week?
Administrative. We have our study group Tuesday evening, and on Friday we have the Detail Ignite info session. So if those interested in learning about what we do with teaching how to start a car cleaning business, definitely join us Friday at 2:30.
All right. If your computer's dying, you can sign off.
Yeah, I'll be here till it dies. I'll see what happens.
You're gonna go down with the ship.
I left the charger at the office, so I gotta go grab it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So as always, you can watch replays of the Morning Vibe at the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook, Afro Caribbean Business Network, Facebook, YouTube. Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube, and also on, I gotta correct that. It's dying. It's dying. LinkedIn.
You heard it?
Yeah, I heard that. Reminder. And also, you can subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. If you do on YouTube, hit the subscribe and the notification button. Like it on Facebook. Wherever you're watching this, subscribe and tell people about it. Got one more comment here. Let's see. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate
that.
So we done. See, Ryan is done now. You see, he went bye-bye. And then let me just put it here right quick. Let me find it, since Ryan is officially gone now. How did he leave his thing at the office? If you want to get in touch with me, website, thedrvibeshow.com. Email dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show. Twitter at drvibeshow, and Instagram at the drvibeshow. So let's close it out the way we always do. Live your life as a dream. If you got another comment, Shelly, thank you, Shelly. Appreciate it. Thank you all for making a great conversation, and also continue the conversation offline. Put it in the comment section. Myself or Ryan will respond. All right. Divine Right, agreed, Sophia. Put that money in our hands. No third party. You're still going on. I'm telling you. Yeah, well, let's keep this conversation going. And Ryan and I will discuss offline, maybe having a panel discussion about this, because they're smarter people than at least myself. I ain't going to say for Ryan. I think he did say earlier, we need to have a round table conversation about this and really get you all to bring it out there. All right. Thank you, Natalie. You too. You've made our days better. So let's close it off. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get stronger to get smaller. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Thank you for an outstanding conversation today, everybody. Have an outstanding week and keep in touch. Continue the conversation offline. Put in the comments so we can keep it going. All right. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith and walk good. That was a wrong thing. So let me get the right thing. Oh my goodness. There's so much energy going on today. I think this